Hi everyone, this is Ish from Western Annapolis Group. This is the third installment of this series where we talk about the services we offer, the consulting services. Uh, the first one was about one-on-one coaching, where we discussed how you can become a better operator through the help we can provide. It helps you become more well-rounded. You don't have any blind spots. You become better at noticing the things around you. You become more aware and you become a better operator. In part two, we discussed how we offer leadership support in the sense that we help you become a better strategic leader. You observe yourself as a third person and correct yourself in the act as opposed to doing something after the fact. Now, let's say you do all of those and you're at a crossroads. Your business has been doing well, or maybe not so much, hopefully not. You're at a crossroads where you are about to enter into a transaction. It could be a transaction in the form of you buying another practice or a business as part of growing, or it could be someone else looking to buy you, or you're looking to merge with another person or a company. These are all normal activities. These are the kinds of situations where you need transaction support. What is transaction support and how does it work? Think of it very similar to buying a home. If you're buying a home, you look at the school district, you look at the location, you look at how close it is from the bus stop or whether it's next to a highway, you look at the amenities, you look at the shopping area, you look at the walking score, you look at all those different things. What you don't look into is what is behind the walls or beneath the floors. That's where you bring in an inspector. It's the job of the inspector to come in as someone who has no skin in the game, as someone who does not get rewarded or does not have any kind of conflict to make a deal happen to earn a buck. It doesn't work like that. What they do is they come in, they have their reputation on the line, they have the wisdom to offer, and they turn every rock to find out what is good or not so good with the home. And that's the kind of thing that we offer, and that's the transaction advisory service industry that is offered for companies. If it can happen with a house, it can happen with a company as well. And that's the service we offer. It is more important, this offering is more important for small to medium sized businesses than most others because large transactions have a way of sorting it out. It is a requirement from the bank or the lenders or whoever is, as is part of the deal, whoever is underwriting the insurance. It is a requirement. It is a strict requirement from them that you have to do these things. Not so much the case for small transactions. Also, with large transactions, you have an investment banker involved who takes a very active and hands-on role within the selling entity to give it a facelift, to make sure that the books are clean, to make sure that there's a clean strategy and a good report and a good story. You don't always get that for small businesses. It's usually a broker, you get introduced to someone. It lacks discipline, it lacks detail, and that can create something very nebulous. And unfortunate part is small businesses, whenever they enter into a transaction, it is very high risk. By design and by definition, it is very high risk because you're putting so much at stake when you're giving up on immediate profitability to buy something that is extra nebulous. It's not so much the case with, at the higher plane of transactions, the medium to large transactions. So that's where we come in, and that is the help we provide. And as we have learned in our journey, as we grew our small business, that the cost of getting someone to help, the cost of getting this help is prohibitively high. Whether you get a CPA or a lawyer or a broker or a transaction advisor, each one of them would ask tens of thousands of dollars in retention to even speak with you. The deal may not go through and you're suddenly in the hole. That amount that you have to pay them was probably the annual profit you were looking at when you were considering this transaction. So that's why it's very prohibitively high. And that's where we can and do offer to help. The help we offer is, again, designed in a way to help the small business. Is that in the beginning, it's something very small and bite-sized. You pay for our time to review some documentation or to have an interview session where we really challenge you. Like, what are you looking into? Are you seeing the right thing? Have you done your diligence in terms of considering all options? Are there any obvious gaps, or is it passing the smell test when we go through it? That's all to set you up to determining whether you should proceed or not. If you don't, good, you're not down $10,000 with a broker per transaction that has no future. That's an easy path. If you are proceeding, then in that next step, we discuss whether you can do a red flags assessment where you see the glaring errors, big issues, and this comes in a more combined way. We obviously work with other experts who have their swim lanes, and they provide bite-sized support as well. Lawyers, tax attorneys, human resource officers, or benefits administration experts. These things come up in every transaction, and it's very hard. You could be looking at a $100,000 bill if you are getting 10 of them to provide you with very small service. So we offer a fraction of that at a price that is achievable. You get a sense of whether you need to consider the bigger, longer service or not. If the deal requires it, that's when we make the recommendation that look, on the IT side, it looks okay. On the financial side, maybe you need to get someone to audit the books. On the marketing side, well, it doesn't look as bright and rosy as you anticipate it to be. So those are the kinds of opinions, the early opinions that we can provide. You can take that and develop a plan around the transaction based on that. And that is the overview of the transaction advisory support that we offer.